everyone don't forget to hit the like button. That's what. All right, so you've been paying your credit cards and your card note 5 months early. I'm gonna paint out the picture for you. You're trying to get a house. You need a 620 minimum to even think about qualifying. You're at a 610, and you've been working, man. You started out like Rod. You were a 547, and you worked your way up, and it took you a minute to get to 580, and then you got to 600, and now you're at 610, and you're stuck. So instead of paying your bills on time, you decided to pay them 5 days early because whoever raised you, just like they raised me, told me if you pay it early, make your credit go up, right? Okay, I'm pay early then. That's what I wasn't. But now I'm gonna pay 2 days early. Then I went to 5 days early. Well, here's where the problem lies, ladies and gentlemen. Credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, those are your 3 bureaus. Most, I'm not saying all 100% of them, most credit card issuers report when your statement closes, not the due date. So you will have to look on your phone, however you look at your statement. I still get mine in the mail. I figure they charge all this money. I'm going to quit that though because I'm tired of throwing it away. But anyway, you need to look statement ended. It's going to say statement ended, statement closed. And let's just say, your due date is typically 21 days, typically after the closing date. So let me go ahead and picture this calendar. We got April 3rd coming up. April 3rd, your statement closes on whatever credit card you have, the Discover card. Your minimum payment due is going to be probably the 24th, 21 days later. The average person, including Rob, before I became a master of my craft, is going to do what? Statement closed the 3rd. I ain't never looked at that. All I cared about, just like the other however many people that I know, cared about the due date. And if it's due to 24th, I pay it on the 19th. Should be good. Online, on my phone, however I'm doing it, boom, bam. The only problem is credit card issuers report your balance to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion on the statement closing date. That's why Devin said that earlier. So, April 3rd, your payment is due April 24th, but your statement closes April 3rd. You need to make sure on April 3rd, your credit utilization is as close to or way lower than 30% as possible. If you give you a prime example of what happened to people, including myself, you have a credit card with $1,000 limit, you run it up to $800. You go out, you buy school clothes, work clothes, whatever. You run it up to $800. You know that credit card, you got time because you get paid on the 10th. The credit card's due on the 24th. You get paid on the 10th. So you go ahead, when you get paid on the 10th, I'm not going to wait till the 19th. I'm going to go ahead and pay it right now. I got the money. Let me just go and pay it. What happens? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, here's why your credit score is not moving. Your statement closed April 3rd. You had an $800 balance divided by a $1,000 limit, giving you an 80%, 800 divided by 1,000, an 80% credit utilization. So, April 10th, you pay that credit card all the way off. You got your check, you paid it all the way off. You don't want that burden over your head. You pay it all the way off. Come time to pay it on the 24th, you don't owe them nothing. Your balance is zero. But guess what's going to show up on your credit report? It's going to show what was reported April 3rd, which was $800. You sitting over in your living room flicking through TV like Rob or looking at whatever BET Plus. Meanwhile, and you thinking you golden. Meanwhile, 6 days later, you go look at your credit report and it ain't moved. your credit score hadn't moved. Why? Hell, you showing the whole world you at 80%. You almost maxed out. In your world, in reality, when the credit card is due, you're not maxed out. In your world and in reality. But in the credit card reality, in the credit card issuer reality, the credit card issuer's world, you got 80% of your credit card utilized. To them, you become what they call a credit risk. You 20 steps from falling over the edge. Try it, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, this is step. Get all these credit limited and all that. You want to see your credit score rise to the top? All you got to do, learn. First of all, don't be maxing no cars out. Try to pay your credit card in full each month. It's not easy. I don't do it every month. I'm not going to sit here in front, fake and lie and all that. But you need to be cognizant or aware of that closing date of the 3rd. And then don't wait till the 3rd, man. Let's be smarter than the average bear. I always use that acronym ever since I was an E2 in the Navy all the way up to E8. STAB, smarter than the average bear. Might be 2, 3 T's. I don't know. We're going to send that joint in, if it's due the 3rd, by 29th. Even if we're doing it on the phone, no later than the 30th. We paying that joint then. Now, we can't, as soon as we can. But we got to try to do it before the 3rd. And then, when they report anything after the 3rd, as long as you take care of it before the next 3rd, it don't matter. So what people, include myself, I remember my mama talking about it, hey, boy, just pay your cards on time. Pay your credit off on time. All right, whatever. And that was true, but it's more to it than that, Mom. God rest her soul. It's more to it than that. That's one of the parts. But it's 4 or 5 other parts to it. You have to know the rules. You can't play no game if you don't know the rules. You can't play football. You can't play Uno. You can't play spades. You can't play dominoes. Nothing if you don't know the rules. This is like that. This ain't necessarily the rule, but you got to be smarter than the average bear. Because they ain't telling us this. Meanwhile, somebody somewhere is learning this, but the vast majority is not. And we're staying stagnant. Our credit score is staying stagnant. And we busting our butt at work every week. We read. We going back 20, 30 years to what our parents or guardians told us. We're thinking about the school teachers. We're thinking about the friends, everybody that gave you advice on how to build your credit score. And you've tried everything and nothing's working. Rod just gave you the one thing to try. Pay it as low as you can before the statement closing date. And I guarantee you, if your statement closes the 3rd, give it about 3, 4, maybe 5 days, maybe the next month, because sometimes the bureaus may be a month behind. But I would I go to Credit Karma or something. I don't use Credit Karma. A lot of people do. But I would go in, I would look. I guarantee you, you're going to see an increase. All you got to do, you can hit me on Instagram at PointsBlankTravel. You can email me, pointsblanktravel@gmail.com, and say, Rod, it worked.